In the quiet village of Chakwal, nestled between rolling hills and vibrant green fields, lived an elderly woman named Bibi Gulzar. Her silver hair cascaded in soft waves down her back, and her hands, though weathered by time, were gentle and graceful as she wove intricate patterns into the fabric of her life. Every evening, as the golden sun dipped behind the mountains, she would sit in her small courtyard, sipping chai from an earthen cup, her wrinkled face serene yet thoughtful. Bibi Gulzar had lived a full life, one woven with both joy and hardship. She had raised children, tended to her husband's garden, and helped her neighbors through their struggles. Yet, the thing she had learned most over the years was the importance of patience, a virtue that had been her guiding light through every challenge. Her daughter, Sara, was a young woman in her 30s, driven and full of ambition. Sara lived in the city, working tirelessly to climb the corporate ladder, always in a rush, always chasing the next achievement. She would often call her mother, telling her of the latest project she was managing, the meetings she had attended, and the award she had won. But with every conversation, Bibi Gulzar sensed the undercurrent of stress in her daughter's voice. One evening, as the first hints of dusk painted the sky, Sara arrived at her mother's home, her face flushed with worry. She sank into the chair beside Bibi Gulzar and let out a long sigh. "Ami," she began, her voice tinged with frustration, "I feel like I am running in circles. No matter how hard I try, I can't seem to catch a break. There are always more expectations, more demands. It's like I am constantly pushing, but nothing ever feels like it's enough." Bibi Gulzar set her cup down, her wise eyes studying her daughter. With a soft smile, she spoke gently. "My dear, do you remember the garden we had when your father was still alive?" Sara nodded. "Of course. You and Baba worked so hard to grow all those vegetables and flowers. The garden was always beautiful." Bibi Gulzar leaned back, her hands resting on her lap. "When we first planted the seeds, we didn't see the flowers bloom overnight, did we? We watered them, tended to them, and waited. At times, there were storms, and the plants would wither. But with time, patience, and care, the flowers would emerge, stronger and more beautiful than before." Sara looked puzzled, not yet understanding the parallel her mother was drawing. "You see, my child," Bibi Gulzar continued, "good things in life, like the flowers in the garden, take time to grow. You cannot rush them. There are seasons for everything, and sometimes we must weather storms and wait for the right moment. But if you have patience, if you keep nurturing what you believe in, you will see the beauty that comes from your efforts." Sara felt a pang of guilt, her mind flashing back to the countless nights she had spent stressing over deadlines, trying to control every outcome. She had never stopped to think that perhaps she was rushing the natural course of things. "But it feels like everyone else is moving so fast," she confessed. "I fear that if I don't keep up, I'll be left behind." Bibi Gulzar chuckled softly. "Patience does not mean inaction, my dear. It means understanding that there is a time for everything. The harvest will come when the fruit is ready, not before." You must trust the process, even when it feels uncertain. Sara sat in silence, the weight of her mother's words settling in her heart. In that moment, she realized that she had been so focused on the destination that she had forgotten the importance of the journey. Her mother's wisdom reminded her that life wasn't a race, but a delicate unfolding, and each step taken with patience was as important as the final achievement. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Bibi Gulzar placed her hand over Sara's. Trust in yourself, and trust in time. Patience is not just about waiting. It is about learning to grow in the waiting. Only then will you understand why good things take time. Sara smiled, a sense of peace washing over her. She had always admired her mother's calm and composure, but now she understood the deeper wisdom behind it. It wasn't the speed of life that mattered. It was the quiet strength in waiting for the right moment to bloom. And as she sat with her mother, the village's gentle evening breeze sweeping through the courtyard, Sara knew that she had finally found the space to breathe and trust the process, one patient step at a time. Let's learn some words from this story. Undercurrent. Meaning. Hidden influence. Example. There was an undercurrent of stress in Sara's voice. Tinged. Meaning. Slightly influenced. Example. Her voice was tinged with frustration. Sank. Meaning. Settled downward. Example. Sara sank into the chair, exhausted. Wrinkled. Meaning. Covered with wrinkles. Example. Bibi Gulzar's wrinkled face showed wisdom. Tended. Meaning. Took care of. Example. They tended the garden with care. Pang. Meaning. Sudden pain. Example. Sara felt a pang of guilt. Inaction. Meaning. Lack of action. Example. Patience does not mean inaction. Unfolding. Meaning. Developing. Example. Life is a delicate unfolding. Composure. Meaning. Calmness. Example. Sara admired her mother's composure. Harvest. Meaning. Gathering crops. Example. The harvest comes when the fruit is ready. Subscribe to Fairy Tale Spell for more stories that inspire growth, mindfulness, and self-discovery. Let's create a world where everyone learns to celebrate their own light.